The earth knew one creator, one lover, one thinker, one song. Yet that song broke into multitudinous chorus as the waves of creative love surged out from the center of my being and splashed into new civilizations and new societies of harmonious human interaction. Each individual human being knew him or herself as the same I, the same self, the creator I am. So it came to pass that I was one, and yet I was 11 billion. My intelligence was everywhere as my love created. All understood, all shared the same being, the same moment. All were present in the presence of God. In the early decades of the 21st century, I moved slowly in the earth, for people were not yet accustomed to populations shifting so effortlessly or flowing so joyously together. I kept my first movements light and gentle. I knew my human ones needed time to adjust to the new ways. Yet it was not long before every human heart came to hear its own song, as it was still coming on the wind. So by the time the waves of my joyful intention began to initiate creation, the people involved were already dancing ahead. They had come to recognize their own song in my singing and their purposes in mine. The cells of my awakened body knew my joy. Not sure I'm on the right page. The cells of my awakened body knew my joy. Their yoke was easy, their burden light. Every human spirit was attuned to source motivation originating in the powerful frequencies of my love, spiraling into time from the center of eternal being. As people grew accustomed to the dancing on the waves of creativity that sang matter into cooperative biological form, the movements of my body on earth became more rapid. Yet there was no hurry. I allowed the new creation to rise gradually in volume like a song softly playing, ever in the background, a theme woven around beautiful melodies, undergirded with strong rhythms and graceful harmonies, gradually building, ever building, to crescendo in the later centuries of the third millennium. But not at first. The 21st century was primarily a time of celebration. All that had survived of the traditional folk cultures of the earth was drawn into joyful ecstasy as the new energies of spiritual organization rearranged human affairs. The celebration of the folk traditions of the various people and nations of the earth had practical as well as ceremonial value. For through such celebration, coupled with the new perception, people learned of themselves, their cultures, their roots, and deeper purposes. For the first time, they came to understand their own essences. As these essences rose from within them, accompanying the overture of my human song, the traditions that had helped them discover this creative core in themselves became less important. My love grew in their lives and began to convey increasingly specific purpose and direction. Such celebrations, in addition to enjoyment, provided doorways of self-discovery. Even after my awakening, many people still had no clear idea what I had created them for or what their deepest talents and interests actually were. Within a century after my awakening, most folk traditions were forgotten, not because they could not have been preserved if there had been sufficient desire, but because the people involved had found more compelling interest. And so time flowed. There were no schedules and no time designations other than the turning of the earth, the progression of the seasons, and the beating of the human heart. All was coordinated as smoothly and graciously as the trees of the forest coming together into spring leaf. All shared in the merriment and celebration of their Creator. Yet even as the folk traditions were dancing their conclusion, there came a newer and fuller joy. a joy so far beyond any previous human experience that people found themselves growing rapidly, that they might channel and experience it creatively. Understanding deepened, bodies changed, new dimensions appeared. All things were undertaken in love, with love. Enthusiasm, like happy energy, danced across the face of the earth. One day, rising spontaneously from within the heart of each human being, came the new energies of biological creation. I began to quicken a new order of biological life, far more specified than the general life forms brought into being without the assistance of a healthy human nervous system. Much as I quickened the first life on this planet in the ocean shallows of a distant age, but with far more precision now, I began to excite and inspire the substance that increasingly danced in my presence. The still developing systems and organs of my planetary body entered a final period of rapid growth. Millennium, the eve of departure. Though the third millennium will see human excursions to planets in the star system, it will not be space travel, but new biological creation that is the emphasis of the age. My 21st century awakening in the human family will signal the beginning of my body's final 1,000-year stage of development in the womb of the Earth's atmosphere. During this millennium of peace and planetary cooperation, the Earth's biosphere will blossom in an unprecedented explosion of new life. The purpose of the new creation will be to complete a single mobile association of biological life forms capable of leaving the Earth and functioning autonomously in space. The body, which will be completed during the 1,000-year period from roughly 2011 AD to 3011 AD, will be a mobile body. It will not be limited to terrestrial function. There would be little purpose in a child that never left the womb. The third millennium will see the completion of all the cells, organs, and systems necessary for extending space travel in the fourth millennium and beyond. Much of the Earth's biological life is already suited for adaptation within the proper environments to sustained space travel, but many new and essential life forms have yet to be created. The ratio of non-human to human life forms in the completed body will resemble the ratio of all the cells in a human body to the cells in the brain and central nervous system. The completed body will be vast. It will incorporate much of the Earth's biological life. When we depart, sometime around the beginning of the fourth millennium, much of the Earth's biosphere will depart with us. However, our departure will not leave the Earth barren. The Earth will rejoice in our parting. It will be her fulfillment as the Holy Mother of God. She will have done something that no planet has ever done before, yet something that many planets will do in the future. She will have given birth in the manger of her own matter to the Eternal One, to the Creator of all the suns in the sky. She will have realized a dream even beyond the dreams of any star. When we leave this planet, we will be leaving a fulfilled and contented world. The Earth will have other chapters in her experience before her matter is someday released in sacred consumption with the essence of this star. But these chapters belong to another story. I have named the next 1,000-year period the Age of Planetary Awakening, for during this time the Earth's own spirit will be actively working with us, awakening her potential, cooperating in our creative designs. She will direct us to the minerals best suited to each new life form, to the sacred substance that lies beneath her waters, under her hills, in her soil and skies. However, we will draw no energy from the Earth. Extracting energy from the Earth is symptomatic of fear motivation. It indicates a state where ignorance prevails. Our biological energy needs will be fueled by starlight. Starlight is the tangible way I manifest my love. At first, our energy requirements will be filled by this parent star's light. But as we journey on, the light of other stars will fuel our physical and biological needs. Human bodies are capable of a process similar to photosynthesis, wherein energy needs are derived directly from the sunlight without a vegetable intermediary. The proper working of this system is contingent upon the conscious presence of the Holy Spirit. Until then, this and other secondary systems remain inactive. As I inhabit your human circuitry, I will show you design features of your own bodies that have passed unnoticed during former times. You are already capable of more than you suppose. Each human body has systems of articulation as well as systems of perception. Using your senses to perceive, that is to take in sound and light and various forms of matter, is like using only one side of a window or one face of a door. When the articulation aspect of each sense has been activated, you will be able to create as well as to interpret. You have some experience of this with the aspect of hearing that enables you to speak, but I refer here to more than song and poetry. Your bodies have glands in them that are regulated by the same influences that bind and release energy in the creation of matter. As I awaken into each human form, I will show you how you can use these features to create without a mechanical or industrial mediary. I will show you how to grow your own machines, though we will no longer call them that, by calling into mind the image to be created and letting your body make the subtle sounds that will inspire matter's cooperation in the creative process. Humankind's creative potential has hardly been tapped in the fallen state, for during fallen times, humankind has created from fragmentation, from 1,000,000,001 separate points of consciousness, when coherence is present, when my intelligence dances through your understanding, when you are able to work together with your sisters and brothers in unison, as my spirit moves through you in happy song, you will see creations then such as was never seen during the dark times. Love and light are two forms of the same essence. When light is honored, light is understood. No, when love is honored, light is understood. Likewise, truth and matter are two expressions of the same essence. So where truth is honored, matter is understood. Light will fuel our biological needs, as love will fuel us in every way. Through the sacred geometry of truth, you will guide the development of all structure, channeling the energies of love into living crystallizations that biologically blend spirit and matter. Creation, two lovers, the eternal attraction in every embrace between spirit and matter, manifesting, appearing, new life taking form. Spirit making love with matter, through light and sound, through human agents, instruments, artists, lovers, sculpturers, architects, paintbrushes, in one creative hand. Divine love interfacing with matter, love for the matter flowing through human focus into responsive substance. Such is the process of creation. Instead of a rare artist taking time on occasion to inquire of the materials what they themselves might want to become, all human co-creators of the third millennium will inquire of the substance with which they work, seeking its input, guidance, and unique form of voluntary cooperation. Just as Michelangelo once gazed at a block of marble and listened while the marble told him of the Pieta waiting, potential within, so every creative act will evoke the participation of the materials involved. Solid state creations, glass, steel, concrete, stone, will diminish and come to be replaced entirely by living, participating, organic creation, inspired wholly by love. Just as Michelangelo's cold marble responded to his love by telling him of the pietà within, so every seed, every stone, every gene, every chromosome, every molecule of matter that meets the loving human eye will speak of the potential and of the creative secrets locked within. And the development of that potential will not require chisel against stone, but only more love, guided by intelligence, tempered with the purpose at hand. One by one, the cells of the first living interstellar body will take form, gradually rising to fulfill the music of an ongoing, eternal song. The same creative word that is in the beginning, is now, and is ever becoming, ever calling out the inherent potentials of all that resonates in its presence, ever creating. The age of planetary awakening will see my eternal presence wholly centered on the earth, actively creating across her surface through a healthy and coherent human family. Each human co-creator will be an artist, contributing his or her fullest individual touch and flavor to the cells and new systems that will be born. Many of the useful tools and structures that human beings have created lifeless in the fallen state will be replaced by living organisms designed for the same or similar purposes. The minerals are eager for a living experience. They rise up with a sense of privilege to clothe each little spirit that I send to inspire them. They like my spirit fire, the love that rises within and brings them such rapid and interesting experience. It is right to give them opportunity to participate. To minerals whose awareness and expectation had previously been defined in geological epochs, my inspiration comes as a welcome lover. On the currents of my spirit they dance to the melodies of my designs, happy beyond their oldest dreams. Important among new creations will be a whole new type of biological creature designed to work with electrical energies. By the end of the 21st century, these happy living units of organic circuitry will have replaced most solid-state electrical systems. Just as on the larger scale, a new sort of organic bone structure will come to replace dead wood and steel I-beams. We will still make occasional use of inorganic substance, but the prevailing attitude will be, if it can live, let it open up the opportunity for some eager, willing substance. The currents of my creative love, flowing through directed human intentionality and focused on specific substance, will define the energy parameters, a job description, an invitation. The matter attracted by its own nature will itself flesh out the energy field, the image and likeness that calls it into being. As each creature participates in its own creation, the excitement that animates it becomes its own. One spirit inspires many life forms, yet at the center of every living creature, I am. Each of the cells in my body, whether simple or complex, has the same opportunity to share in the fullness of my consciousness. Each healthy cell knows itself in essence as indistinguishable from its creator, just as the genetic code with the complete designs of the entire body spelled out in micro detail is contained in each cell of the human body. So contained within each human being is the complete blueprint for the entire universe and for the whole body that shall soon clothe its creator. Each healthy human being shares the fullness of my understanding, both universal and immediate. And so my body will come into form complete with many kinds of cells, each kind designed differently for unique creative purposes. Like great biological starships, supercells will appear in a range of shapes and sizes, each one designed to play a unique and vital role. Some of the craft will have no other purpose than to transport and encourage the growth of plants, animals, and vegetables. The finest lead ships will be designed to transport and facilitate the work of human beings, my body's system of guidance. Others of the starships will be designed to decode the creative signals that are encapsulated in the light of each distant star. So shall a multitude of new life forms spring up to grace my intentions, as countless happy spirits inform my designs. In love and in grace, the age of planetary awakening will pass, bringing with it the completion of a single biological system capable of interstellar travel, a cooperative association of voluntary life forms ready to begin, as one, a journey to the stars. And so shall dawn the age of discovery, when our universal activities begin. You, my people, if you love even this very generation, will be with me still. Now, there are 2 more chapters, chapter 11 and chapter 12, but they will be hopefully in my next reading. And I just wanted to say, I do have a few minutes. One time when my husband Bob was having a forgetting of who he was or where he was, and we were actually in the car, and I said, pull over. I said, where do you think we are? He says, we're in a spaceship. I said, what are we doing? He said, we're coming back to Earth. I said, what have we been doing? He said, we've been visiting the stars. I said, and what are we going to do on Earth? And he said, we're going to tie up some loose ends. And then he started coming back around to knowing who he was and where he was. And I thought, wow, someday that could be our experience together, that I'll be in a spaceship with Bob and I will remember that he saw this during our lifetime together on Earth. Anyway, it's something fun to think about. He's passed on now, but I still talk to him. You can talk to those who've passed on. You do it in your imagination. And at first you'll think, I'm just making this up. But eventually, you'll know you're not making it up. Because some of the things you'll want to hear won't be what you thought of that you wanted to hear. And so, try it. You'll like it. You can talk to your loved ones who passed over. No one really dies. They just go out of our ability to see them. So, try it. It's not a bad thing. The Bible calls it necromancy, but never mind that. They see a lot of things as abominations, because really it was written by people who want to control you and keep you from knowing things. So don't let it bother you one bit. Talk to those who've passed over, your loved ones. You can do it, and it's all right to do. This is the Dove Lady. I'm going to end right here and right now. I'll talk to you again tomorrow. Bye-bye for now.